Hello everyone and welcome to another stream. How are we doing? So last stream we basically wrapped up on the API design of the entity system. So everything's been planned out on what we need to code generate and what we need and also how it's going to be implemented under the hood. And how the code is going to be used as well. So it's been thought about top to bottom, and we've got things like creating entities, iterating over entities, getting and setting properties, and a bunch of other little things as well. So I've got kind of a list here, and we're going to basically be code generating every item in this list, pretty much. So we need to code generate a property enum from the layout file. So in our layout file, we've got a bunch of properties here. We need to have a enum for each, an enum value for each of these properties. And we also need to have an enum for each archetype. So that's stuff like that. We need to code generate typed IDs for each archetype, types references, and an archetype structure itself, so we can create a whole entity at once from a regular structure. Hey there, Drevastated. How's it going? Good evening. How am I today? Not doing bad. Bit tired, to be fair, because just a bit tired from work, I think. But yeah. I guess I've had much better days, but I'm excited to get working on finally working on this code generator, really. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, how about you? How are you doing, sir? Then we're also going to work on like the create entity API, like code generating that. Code generating the defer destroy, get set properties, types get set properties, get archetype property arrays for the iterator code generation, and this entity record pool. This is basically just a pool to keep hold of every entity that's allocated. So we can have a longer living ID. And defrag the references. So yeah, let's just get started on actually generating some files. I was thinking we should probably remove the internal files. I was thinking we should. Actually, no, we'll keep them for now. So we'll be code generating in the entity underscore generated C file, entity underscore generated .h file, and the internal generated one. So our code generator is going to start putting stuff in those guys. Hey, Selective Duplicate, it's been a while. How are you? Yes, it has been a while. Yes, I'm good as well. I've been doing some web dev this evening. Oh, fair play. What's the web development for? What's the goal? Damn, this computer, keep going into damn sleep mode. Be in power settings, wouldn't it? Energy saving. I love how like on computer systems they put when your screen goes to sleep in the power saving section, never in the sort of screen or display section. Right, where is it? Turn screen off after 10 minutes. That ain't 10 minutes. Right, it's never going to turn the screen off now. Let's do that. Anti-eco-friendly. Let's do it. It's still going on with Game of Ninja series. Nice. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you've seen, but we've been... Yeah, so we've got the ray tracing done to a point where we can ray trace a few instances. We still need a better performing version, to be honest, but we've got PBR in there as well. So it's just a bunch of ellipsoids and stuff being ray traced through a bounding volume hierarchy. Yeah, and I need to do another take over it. But I think we'll be able to build all of the game technology things before we need to come back to the rendering, to be honest. So I want to be the whole next 8 months. We're going to be making some editors. There's a video coming out on YouTube tomorrow. So if you keep out an eye out on the channel, like literally by this time tomorrow, there'll be a video out which takes the game tech plan, which I went over a week and a bit ago on stream. I've condensed it down into a devlog, and it's the whole plan for the next 8 months. So yeah, it's going to be like working on some editors and some game technology, like the entity system, multi-threading, just getting that in early, getting an encoding and decoding system in. Yeah, some good stuff. And then a bunch of editor UIs to build models and scenes and things. And a bit of like what the plan of the game is as well, like the genre and stuff. That Vim thing, Nord theme, right? Yeah, it's the Nord one. I'm actually using Helix now. I've switched over to Helix from Vim because my NeoVim setup somehow was throwing errors everywhere when I updated my system, so I decided to try something different. Yeah. Holy crap of Holy See. Can't keep up. Got busy with other stuff, but damn. That's cool, no worries. No, yeah. So that's what we've been working on, and that's what we're going to be working on. So right now we kind of just got a code generator. We got the code generator parsing a layout file where we can define all of our properties for entities and archetypes. We literally have designed the API for how we want this entity system to be and how we want it to work internally, like what problems it's trying to solve. Effectively, it's just trying to solve, hey, I've got an entity that wants to sort of know or wants to look at the entities around it and decide what to do. So everything is based around, everything's put into these regions in space. And because it's like a top-down RPG game, everything's put into these regions. And, you should be able to quickly look at the entities around you. And yeah, so we've built some thing that's ready to be SIMD'd in the future, I think. So this project is just for myself for training purposes. Cool. I'm building an e-commerce site to work on my full stack skills. Awesome. That's good. Taking matters into your own hand. That's great. It's always good having a personal project. Teaches you a lot of things that you don't get by working on projects with other people. They're both of those things have good things to take away from. That's really great. X-Bank, welcome. Or Zibanki, welcome. How are you? Yeah, people always say don't reinvent the wheel, but then we don't really have a wheel, right? And also there's always many different types of wheels, right? So it's such a bad analogy. Yeah, the best way you can learn is to do stuff yourself. And also, like, people are like, oh, we already have this thing. Why would you go need to make another one? But then, like, sometimes that other one that you've made doesn't do most of the things that the other one does, but it's far simpler. And it works for you even better. And it has less overhead, less complexity in the code base, something you can actually understand, right? And something you can actually take and improve on or specialize it even more for your project. So there's a lot of things that you get from making your own stuff or using other simple things that solve specific problems and tailoring it towards your thing. So yeah, reinvent that wheel. Awesome, glad to hear it, Zabenki. Glad to hear, sir. So we're going to start off dead simple. So basically this code generator, so that was just a bunch of test code we've just been playing around with or designing the API. This is the code generator. What we're going to do is start outputting to a file. So I think I should just use the C file API and use fprintf. And then we can just fprintf everything out and dump format strings in and things, right? And maybe I really like doing these types of things in my give me a minute. Having these like section headers and things. So one thing I want to do is like make a function that just outputs one of them. But yeah, we'll put them in proper. But let's just start off very easy. So I think we're going to be saying like, so I'll set up print header, or section header, we'll call it. And we'll just be like file, screaming file. F, doesn't get better than that. And then you put in the section name, name of the section, and then we'll just basically, so I think we can do something like that in it. And then we can put that as a char star format, or font as some people call it. Bit of font. Then all we need to do is simply just say fprintf. The stream is f, put the format in, put the name in, and voila. So that's some first function that we're probably, oh wait. I didn't do a simple thing. Done. So we'll probably use this. No, we definitely will use it, but yeah. So next thing we need to do is open up our files, and I think, why don't we generate the public header first? So all that code reads the, so we'll just put it in right in a massive old comment. Parse the layout, the entity layout file. Right, it's probably obvious when you just read this, but parse the entity layout file. All right, extract out all the data from the, there you go. Probably don't need that comment there, but there you go. So this is the debug printing code. So I can just say enable to debug. Enable to show. See, why should it be? We should make an option. Maybe. Yeah, let's just comment it out for now. I don't think we need it. Enable to print out arrow parsed. Print out the data we extracted from the entity layout file. All right. I think my thing's bringing up a lock screen. What it's doing. Screen locking. Right, silly laptop. Automatic lock screen after 5 minutes. There we go. Fix that one. Imagine trying to get back to this project from day one because I forgot everything. Right. That's cool. I don't expect people to follow every ounce of this project. You know, I'm sure you'll be able to jump on, depending where we're, you know. A lot of the things are going to be quite isolated, like this entity thing. It's quite isolated. So the plan is we need to open up. We can just call it F. And we'll open up the F open. I know Windows would probably cry if I did this, but I think there's an option to change that in Windows. So we're going to say source. I think it's source logic entity generated.c.h. Start with the header. And obviously we want to write to that thing. Open write, which will destroy it all, I think. Sweet. So the files already exist. But they're empty. So I'm thinking we can open up some scopes. Do some things. So the plan is, firstly, we want to generate all of the properties, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So let's do a for range over all the properties. So 0 to generator.props count, right? And we literally just want to like fprintf, f enum ent prop, right? Open up that. Do a bit of a new line, and then copy paste, put it down there. Probably yeah. So I think yeah. So we close it, and then we do a little bit of a type def, you know. See, this will make it 4 bytes though, when it doesn't really have to be 4 bytes. But I doubt we really use entity prop that much that it benefits from being a single byte type, to be fair. So that'd be pretty sweet. So then we go over all these boys and girls. And then what we can do is simply, obviously, tab this one. And now you put in the name. So you go string and ent prop underscore string, and then it'll be gen.props dot index dot identifier. And then we have to do a bit of a silly, because sized strings and all, they're not really built into C, but it's no biggie. It's not worth changing the language over. So we put the size of the string before and then data, and then change the string to dot style. Right, so, you know, now we should be able to run the code generator like so. And we should be presented with the properties. Ta-da! So these are the ones taken out from that file. I don't know why I loaded it up in Kate, but there we go. I could have done it probably in less time by going to... But yeah, there it is. We're missing the commas, though. So we should do those. And we're missing the pragma once at the top, you know? Bit of pragma. There's nothing better than writing C code in strings, you know? Explicit new lines. So, yeah. And rerun that. Then let's look at entity gen.h. And that's looking better, isn't it? So we've got the pragma once there. We should really put a new line in there, another new line in there, right? Then you got the property thing, it's all comma separated, right? They're all pretty nice. We could uppercase it, right? But I think it means we can, yeah, let's keep it like that. Even though it really goes against the consistency of the code base, I think it's good for the entity system to do this so we can concatenate this prefix on with our macros when we do use the iterator. So then we type def the prop like that. Cool. So now that that one is done, what I'd like to do is do the archetype one as well. And we'll probably move these around a bit into different sections if it makes sense. But I also might just leave it all in one file, see how messy it gets. Sorry, move around in the file and put stuff in different sections. But yeah, we'll see how messy it gets. So next is the archetype enum. So we look for prop. Need to get a new wire for my headphones, things cut out. Right, archetype. And it should just be as simple as that. So we code generate. Then we look at entity gen.h. So the archetype here, but again, we ain't really got that spacing in there, so we can put the spacing in there as well. And that's looking good, right? Let's run it. Let's go into gen.h. So here's the file. Right now we've got the knight, got the chest, got the tree. Pretty good. So the next thing we need to do is generate some typed IDs, references, and structures for each archetype. So we'll get all the IDs in there, get all the references, then the struts. So we'll keep doing more loops like these, I reckon. So let's go up to the example and bring those examples down. Okay. So something like this. So we'll stringify this. So the basic idea is we want to do a bunch of do a for loop over all the archetypes, and we'll put out a ref for every archetype. So that is going to be, so we'll get the format. I'll put constant there. Yeah, so that'll just be like this line here. Oh. So we'll do something like well, that didn't work as expected, but it will do. Then over there, new line. Sweet, so they'll be concatenated together. Right. Nice. So where it says night, we shall replace it with this sort of string thing, and then we'll throw the format in. Now, the boy has woken up here. Then we're going to go ahead and crap. Okay, good. So we put the format in here. Now, sometimes when I do code generators, like when I did my maths library for HCC, what I did was I made a special formatter because I was repeating a lot of the same things again, like you'll see here. Or things were just kind of globally known, so it's easier just to have a custom formatter. So say for instance there was a variable in here called like something that I wanted to keep putting in the code, like archetypes count. I could like shorthand it with like $, say AC, and it would just automatically put that in there. But this one I don't really need a custom formatter. Should be fine, I think. So we're gonna go ahead and get the crap, it's the shoot, really? Okay. Right, a little bit more hands-on. Core string, let's just call it N. So this will be gen archetypes index.identifier. Then we're gonna do that sort of int casted n size, right? N.data. Then repeat that 3 times or 2 more times. Yeah, it's the way it is. So that'll generate those references. Should we see how that looks? So we rerun. We can't do it just yet. Let me just quickly do the ID version for a sec. So rather than the word ref, we'll do ID. Nice. So we get rid of this now, we'll be able to do it. So we should have a bunch of typed references and IDs being codegen. So we hop out to entsgen.h. So let's actually go in there this time. So now we've got the properties, archetypes. Oh, we didn't put a semicolon here. Anyway, we'll do that. Well, the references, right, for the knight's chest and the tree, and the knight chest and tree IDs as well. Cool. So we forgot this semicolon after the enums. Right, so that's already a few things checked off the list. Let's keep going. Let's move over to we'll do the structures next. Structures are a little bit more involved, but it's a similar sort of thing, right? Going over all the archetypes. We're going over all the we're going to make, it's just going to be called ent and then whatever the name of the archetype is. And we're going to have another for loop in here though. So basically, let's just get that in there. Right, so here we need another for loop. And this one is going to get the archetype. Should probably get the archetype locally, maybe. Or I could just do it this way. Props count. So we're going to roll the props. So archetype prop. Archetype prop gen archetypes dot props prop index. So I don't think we still have everything here. Yeah, you get the prop is a prop pointer. Huh. Yeah, okay. And then there's data type string, and then there's identifier. So let's get the data type out. Two seconds, let me just check on something. I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. Just checking, making sure the boy's alright. He was crying. But my wife has it. Right, so what we're doing. So then we're on the identifier. Call it ident. You know, obviously this is the cleanest code you've ever seen. It's just a code generator. Yeah, so we need to then do another sort of formatted print. This one's going to be tabbed in, obviously, right? But a bit of tab. Then it has the string dot star for the data type, then dot star for the ident with a semicolon, and that should be the archetypes. Wait a minute. Didn't do the prop index. No, I did. Yeah. So let's go ahead and run the code generator. Ooh. Oh, I didn't even put the stuff in here. Right. Int casted dt.size, dt.data, int casted ident.size, ident.data. Right. And there we go. So we go to gen.h. So I didn't see it. Yeah, it's because I need to quit the file. It's not. Oh, can I reload it? Yeah. Right, so we reloaded the file, and here it is. So here they are, the ent nights. here's all the properties. Here's the chest properties and the tree properties. So if you look in the layout file, what you'll see is tree has chord, health, mesh ID, 8-bit field, or this one has the inventory as well. And this one has the weapon ID and armor instead of these two. So they're all the types. And there we go. Pretty sweet. So that's all the data structures done for the archetypes. Let's look at what's next on the list. So that's these two checked off now. The next one we need to do is do the create entity API. Defer destroy. See, I'm wondering if we should probably instead put all the archetypes together in one, rather than doing all the refs then all the IDs. Nah, I think we'll keep doing it this way. So we have all the create functions next. So all the create functions, I forgot what they look like. Well, I also don't use the word create. Like that's in my code base, I use the word init and dinit. So I think we'll change it to that, obviously. So we should, so say ent archetype name create. But we've got it. We need the lowercase version. So really, in that archetype thing, when we make one, we should have different casing. Identifier. Lower. But see, so I could just type it out in the layout file, right? And we just reparse it, because if someone puts, or me, if future me puts in like a two thing and convert to snake case, maybe we'll parse another string. So it could be or I could write a function that just basically snake cases things, right? That's the other way. Yeah, so we could just, right. Yeah, let's just write a snake case function. The snake caser. So I reckon it'll be quite easy. Snake caser. I don't know. Snake case string. Pass in a string, you get another string back out. So, because it's a code generator and we don't really care what goes on, here's the new string. And we're going to basically core string malloc string size times 2. And then string dot, and then it's 0, isn't it? Then I'm literally just going to go over character by character. So for range index 0 string size. So ultimately we return DST, and then we want to like just literally get the char out, string data index if char equal or is upper Have I got that? If char there you go. So if char is upper, there's definitely a better way to write that. You can do it with bit logic as well and remove that branch, but just a code generator. And there is a standard library version, I think, but that could use locale of the system. Right, so if it is upper and not the first character, and right, if index not equal to 0, you put an underscore in first. So we push on an underscore. So you say dst data dst.size equal underscore, and then dst size plus equal 1. Now you do this, will do the 2 lower. So a 2 lower is just take 32, I think. I forget these things. Man, me some ASCIIs. If you see A here is capital A is 41. So if you look, then hexadecimal, in hexadecimal is 41. So if we look where A is, lowercase a, that's 61. That's 20 in hex, which is 32. Yeah, so that means I need to add, or take away. Yeah, so that will uppercase it. Sorry, that will lowercase it. 2 lower. Then we do all the push logic. Push on character like so. Yeah, I think that'll work for now. I don't know if we'll get anything really silly, but we'll see what happens, right? We can always fix this function. So that will, that is classed as ought to be good enough, I reckon. So what we should be able to do is when we parse the file, we should be able to just give it a find. So this is when we look at the word prop. That's not it. When we look at the word archetype, yep, we parse the identifier here. Verify identifier, then archetype identifier lower equal snake case string archetype identifier, and that should be it. But we're going to figure out if it actually worked by enabling this debug print section, and we're going to put in brackets the lowercase version. Let's see what happens. So if we just copy paste this one, then at the end of these just write the word lower. Then we're going to go ahead and rerun the code gen. This time we should see it print out into the terminal. And we've got a lowercase knight there and a lowercase chest and a lowercase tree. Pretty good. So I guess we can just quickly test it out. No, knight, person, right, chest thing. Tree on the side of the road. On the side of the rod, even better. So there we go. That's looking pretty right, and there's the snake case stuff. Cool. Right, so that snake case is good. So I'm happy with that. So now we have a snake case string. So our code can be generated more. So we copied and pasted this one here. And what we want to do is basically just print out like, hey, you can create, initialize a bunch of entities. So I think we just want to do something like return an ent. It's a typed ID, I think. The API is a typed ID. And then you say ent, then the name of the snake case name of the thing you want to create, then init, followed by the archetype type identifier, and then again the lowercase one. Bit fiddly, bit of a pain. Maybe the custom code generator would have been helpful, but I've committed to this now. Maybe we should have done the custom code generator. Maybe we should still do it. Awesome. Well, maybe is it awesome? Evening coffee sounds pretty dangerous. Seems like he could keep you up all night. Is that the plan? See, I'm gonna be writing a lot of little bits of code, right? So if I did a custom code generator, sorry, I'm already doing the custom code generator. If I did a custom formatter, so I just scan over, and I've got little special variable things, right? And given the context is this archetype, it could just be like an out, output those things very nicely. I don't have many things to output, so maybe the idea is just do that little custom thing, because I've got the identifier, like the camel, the title KC1, the snake KC1. You see, I wonder how much of a pain this is going to be, And then when I'm generating like properties and things, maybe it'll be okay. You know what? I'm okay with a mess. Wait, let's do one more thought about it. So we are going to be generating some content, so some like actual source code with this. It's not just data types. I don't think we have that much, meat and potatoes in the source code. So yeah, this is probably just good enough. And I cannot think of the exact custom formatter I want to do, because it might get a bit hairy where the archetype has many properties, but it's still possible. Code generator as an alternative to pick-in language with compiled templates. Yeah, but the problem is with those languages is the solutions kind of suck. Like for this sort of stuff, because like the debuggability goes downhill, and sometimes you want to, like, by having code that's generated, you can debug a lot easier. And then also it runs it every single time you compile, and this we can just run it when we change the file, and then it obviously just parses that source code. Yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan of sig because it has comp time. I feel like comp time is just used everywhere. It just feels like the most strange way to structure a language. It's just comp time everywhere. I guess it seems cool, but yeah, I wouldn't want to use it that much. Now I'm going to bed for about another. I'm going to bed for another 3 hours, so usually no problem. Okay, sounds like coffee hasn't hit you that. You haven't built a intolerance to coffee yet. I think people as they get older, they say that they can't drink coffee past like 12 or something like this because it keeps them up. But yeah, I think we'll just live with that. So I need an N and then like an NL, I guess. So basically we're doing the uppercase one, the sort of lowercase one. Make plus GCC, then build system can indeed figure out when it needs to regenerate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's another thing as well. It's like when I get around to doing my build system, whenever I actually need it, it could just be, I could just check, hey, has this layout file changed? Right. And if the layout file has changed, then, you know, rerun the Codegen script before compiling any code. Right, so I think this is the init function done. So let's rerun that. Layout, not layout, engine.h. But how's it going, Davros? What have you been up to? How you been? So we'll reload the file. So I've got too many spaces in there, but that's basically it, right? But I'm not taking it in via a pointer. By value, you get back the typed ID, pretty nice. So let's sort that out. By one, not moving this extra space to after here like that. And then we put a pointer there, put a putter. That should work. There we go. Look at that. So what is next? There's the create functions, defer destroy. Defer destroy. So defer destroy is actually typeless. So we can leave that one on. It's typeless, so it doesn't need any code generator headers, header file stuff. So we'll skip that one. We'll come back to it in a bit. So we need to generate. We still need to generate those archetype pools actually, but those are more of like an internal thing. We'll get to that later. So entref. So we need property access designed for random access when the iterator will not suffice. Oh, this is good. Yeah, I think we need these sections. This is going to be good. But yeah, so we want basically something like this. A getter and a setter, buddy. So effectively, we're going over every single property, like so. And we're going to go ahead and generate, I guess let's call it n for some reason, name or something like that. Prop. We want to generate the data type name, ent ref name of property underscore get ent reference. There's a typeless reference. It's a little bit slower, but that's cool. Let's call it ref. Change my mind on that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and then, just do n there. And I need a DT for data type. Sweet. So that should generate the getter, then the setter. We'll need a bit of a different one. Then the name of the actual property. I could just call it value though, to be honest. Like, who am I trying to... it's nicer if it's named properly, I think. Rightio, let's plop that in there. And then we actually need that name back. Cool, so I think, that's all the getters and setters done for the untyped reference. So let's take a look at that one. That would be entgen.h. So we reload the file. And voila. So it gets a bit, that's all right. That's all right, I reckon. Practicing building another environment. I started a portal system previously and want to try having exterior and interior transitions. Oh, okay, excellent. Yeah, because you have that sort of outside one at the moment, and you've got this big walker thing, and then like hills and stuff, bit of water. Yeah, it's cool. So I did another environment this time. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, like the old school portal systems where you can do the avoid rendering things that you don't have to, basically. That's cool. Right. Right, I see. Yeah, that'd be great. How are you building the environments right now? Do you build them in like Blender or something? Or do you like how do you place the things in the scene? Hey there, innocent Pipu. How's it going? Or yeah, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. So we generate these getters and setters now, or just the prototypes for them. The real meat and potatoes comes soon. The next one on the list is the typed ones. So the typed identifiers. These ones actually offer a little bit of increased performance because they don't have to calculate the offset to the pointer where the properties live. To the property pointer array. It's known at compile time. So these would be pretty cool. So these ones you have to go over all the archetypes and then all the properties for the archetype and then get, so it takes a type reference in. So here we go. So we want this sort of iterator here, this lovely one, right? So we want go over all the archetypes, go over all the. So we could just delete that line, delete that format as well, right? Now, We go over all the properties, get the archetype prop. We could just get the prop pointer, not gonna lie. Then we could just simply do one of them. Right, so we need to do something like, you want the name of the data type, ent, then the name of the thing lowercase. So we need the lowercase version. Then we would also like the word ref, then the name of the property, followed by get, then the ent. Oh, this is a bit of a hands-on one. Capital version of that one, ref, done. So yeah, it's a bit hands-on, but it's cool. So this would be the lowercase. It's called NL. Then we would like a couple of N's. Then we'd also like a couple of what would we like? A couple of what? So we've done 3 of them. Yes. Yes. Wait. Oh, I need another one in between. Whoops. So that's prop ident. Alright. That looks like it. So we do another one where we just bring the data type to the end and do a setter. So the value, the data type name, and then the the data type definitely gets moved towards the end. And then the name of the data type says, so the name of the property, which is ident, gets repeated back here as well. Right, so looking at that, that should be those typed ones done. Right, the code regen ran and fine. So entgen.h, reload. Cool, there's an extra thing here for some reason that needs to go. But we've got some gets and sets. The types references, this is health, mesh ID, weapon ID, armor, they're all for knight. Yep. Then instead of armor and weapon ID, you got inventory and then a bit flag. Cool. Yep. And then tree as well, sweet. So these are for random access, they're not going to be, they're not the preferred way to do it. But you could do it that way. Right, so we obviously need to remove that curly brace that was being there. Ian Prunes, fair play. Fair play. You build in Blender, right? Exports to GLTF, which does have instancing. I export characters in IQM, which is a leaner format in the Quake modding world. Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, the GLTF format it's not that bad to parse. And you can just support the sub bit that you want, basically, isn't it? Right, so after the typed getters and setters. We also want to be able to get the archetype property arrays. So this is basically another one of these for loops, two-dimensional for loops, where we just want to print out, because in the iterator API, the test iterator stat things, right? Where is it? Here it is. We need to be able to say ent archetype coord array and pass in the archetype. Oh, wait a minute. Right, I misunderstood it. What we actually want is to have it with an enum, and then that will get the pointer, the array of coordinates, for instance, or the array of weapon IDs, the array of that property. Okay. Wait, I didn't do a getter either. Right, I'm missing some things still. Right, let's get this one in at least. So this one, means you go over every single property and just delete that. So would you want to get a property array for a specific? Yeah, if you want a property array for a specific archetype, you could just manually do that yourself. I don't think I need to make a function for it. We'll see. Right, so you go over all the properties, and we basically just want to make something like so it's the data type followed by the property name followed by nothing else, and voila, that seems to be it. Nice. Let's just take a look at that one, make sure that works all good. Got any of those problemos, you know. Engine.h reload. Yeah, so coordinate array given an archetype enum, health mesh ID, weapon ID. Yep, so use this in the iterators basically. When you do use those iterators. Alright, that's cool. Right, let's go up to those examples again, test iterator. I want to find, yes, there's these getters. So also with the create, we can just get back the whole object from a reference. And I think that'll just be good for maybe serializing, I don't know. But if I'm going to be doing serializing, I'll probably just Codegen anyway. Yeah, maybe we don't need a get on the whole thing. If I need to do any serialization, I might just Codegen it maybe. Let's see. Right. Take a typed ID and turn it into a reference. A typed reference. That's something that we need. So let's take a look at that file that we've been making and see if there's any little adjustments. So when it comes to properties, if we could pull the properties in there. Ooh. Right, we could have a section header for these two. Then we have a section header for all the references, section header for all the IDs with a bit of a comment saying why you need these, what they're for. Then these would be the, yeah, these are just the archetype struts. Then we might put the archetype pool struts as well. They're for the pools. Yeah. Okay. So I think let's get those section headers in now. So, right, we still need to generate those archetype, what they call the archetype pools. So it's like this one, but we do it SOA style. So rather instead you just put a pointer there, and then you just put pool. Now I think we might be missing some things, a bit like a pool header. I think we need to put in there a tab ent pool header, which is defined in the non-code generator place. So this is one this is all the stuff that's not code generated. And I think we have the pool header in here somewhere. Or is that in the internal one? Yeah, see this pool header. So it has some common things. I think I might move and make everything public, because I don't think I'm too fussed about having the internals exposed, to be honest. In this case. Right, so we get those section headers in now. That'd be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? Make it look a little bit tidier rather than just a bunch of types. Print section header, put a bit of F in there. This will just probably be known as we could just call it common, or it's a very dumb name, enums. Let's call it enums. Very dumb name. But anyway, we'll do that. So enums. Then this will be the refs. This will be the references, typed ref, typed references. So there's a lovely comment I did earlier, and at the top where it was called so we have typed references. It means we could probably put their getters See, we should put some of the functions in the same, because the untyped references, yeah, maybe these should actually go into another section that's just before it or something. But yeah, let's get back up to there actually. So this sort of like, no, okay, it's a different comment. Yeah, I'll leave this separate. So typed references, I could put a comment like, you know, can offer stronger typing over entref, while providing dedicated. While providing some dedicated functions with slightly less overhead. Right. Something like that. Sounds ideal. So another section header. Oh, my laptop internet died. Well, looks like I need to restart my laptop. Right, so typed references. The next one was typed IDs. Strong typing over. Yeah, there we go. This is the archetype. Archetypes and archetype pools. Then the next one is, so we've got initialize functions. So we've got basically like entity d slash, what's just in it? Initialization. So with entity initialization, I don't know if we need, it's anyone that uses the big structure type, but maybe, yeah, just keep the types separate. Right, so this is type plus getters and setters. Untyped getters and setters. Get slash set properties. So with this, there's a comment that I made. This one. I would like that there. And I just realized that my other, oh damn it. I think something's up with my router where the wireless is not, it's done something. My laptop cannot see the wireless. So up here, yeah, I can't really see chat too well. Where you have to go, thanks for stream. No worries. Thank you for coming, sir. Have a good rest of your evening, or maybe see you the weekend. Right, so we've got to go ahead and okay, so I actually forgot to put the comment things here. All right, pretty sweet. Let's get the other section header in for these ones. These are the typed ones, which would be obviously quicker, a bit quicker. So we search for that word. So it's this last line that changed, isn't it? This is slightly quicker than the type of entities. Cool. Right, then what's this? These are for the iterator, isn't it? archetype property arrays. Arrays. So what's great about this one? Well, so use these to primarily used in iteration or when iterating to get access to the property arrays for an archetype. Something like that. That shall do. Yes, so if we look at that now, let's look at the Codegen result. If we go over to the entgen.h, let's reload that, a bit of RL. We've got lovely section headers now, so these are the enums, types references, types identifiers, with a little bit of comment in there as well. Archetype ones, archetype pools. There's this quote here, which is a bit weird. I'm gonna fix that. I'll just remember that. Entity initialization, untyped getters, typed getters and setters, and the property array functions. Sweet. So let's pop back into the code generator. That was that quotation mark on the all header. That's gone now. That's cool. So let's take a look at the file and see if there's anything else we are missing. We've generated the pools. We didn't generate the union. Actually, we should go and do that. There's one thing. So the union, the archetype pool union. The other ones are this ref thing, isn't it? To take a reference and turn it, an ID turn into a reference. We need that. Other than that, I think we're good. So let's get the let's go to the pools. After we've done the individual pools, we want to do it one more time. But with the goal of generating this basically, isn't it? So we put this into the file by just, printf f new line sweet. Rightio. Cool. So we need the pool header in there. Did that one before. Right, so that's the first field, and the rest of the fields are basically the name of the archetype pool, then just the lowercase version of the archetype name. Semicolon new line. Right, so just need the lowercase version. So I think that's it. We don't need the rest, obviously. Right, so now that generates the union of archetype pools, which is used in the global data. So we can take an enum and index across all of those basically. So that's pretty nice. The other thing was I forget it now. The reference. Resolving an ID to a reference. So that one could probably just go in the references section. With the references done, we should probably move the references around then, I think. Because the references were done first. Is that right? ID. Oh no. Maybe it should go here with the IDs. It's hard to know, right? Where's my other comments around the we want this, right? So printf. So this one reads a direct entity reference that can become invalid between frames. Then the other one is an entity reference that is valid for the whole lifetime of the entity, but has the extra cost of indirection over entity ref. Yeah. So effectively, the ID always resolves into an int ref. So this goes in this section header here. Right, nearly there. So we've got to put new lines in this one, so let's quickly do that. All right. So this one here needs this code generated. Should be pretty easy. Start.s. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Oh, %.start.s. So fn printf f new line. See, I wonder, right? I'm gonna spin it in for loop, I think. So we need the name. Do we need the lower name as well? Alright, so we take that for a spin. I think we're nearly there now for the header file. And then we'll just need to take the... Oh, it was a raid. Wow. Welcome, welcome raiders. How you doing? Melkeith, thank you so much for the raid. KB Dev, welcome. Basandro, hey. And sweet. Welcome, guys. So, how did the stream go, by the way, firstly? But yeah, we're currently working on a code generator for an entity system for our game. I'll quickly just give a tour of the game and feel free to ask any questions. Yeah, my laptop died. I usually have chat open on laptop, but laptop dead. So that's why I didn't see you guys right away. So we got some sort of PBR, ray traced, ellipsoid, custom ray tracer against a BVH. We still need to do a second take over it and do a faster implementation, but we've got it in a good enough place for now. So we're currently working on the game tech plan, which I've been over in a past stream, which the main goal is to build an editor so we can build these custom ellipsoid models and things. So currently we're building some more of the game technology, like a bit of an entity system, multi-threading, and just getting more of the other part of the game set up first before we build any editors, because we've literally just got everything ready for graphics and that's about it. The rest of the engine, or rest of the game, is basically empty. So that's what we're working on right now. Is in a podcast with Ben Awad. Okay, fair play. Fair play. How did it go? Was it a good one? So yeah, we're currently just code generating a header file for all of our. We take a look here. This is our entity layout file. It's a custom file format. It means we can just create properties and archetypes, and it makes codegens everything in a structure of arrays layout. And yeah, if I want to add new properties, change around archetypes, or do new things, take that last one away. If I just want to like just quickly edit this file, I can just recode generate everything, and it's pretty sweet. But also I want to add in new things to this code generator, so I could just tack things on and generate whole new things that I without hopefully typing too many mistakes. That's kind of the reason why I want to do this, is so I can quickly change things but also reduce the amount of mistakes. So that's the reason why I run a code generator. So where's my music gone? Radio. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask away. I'll happily answer them. So archetypes, we're going to roll the archetypes so we can translate a ID to a reference. So I just need to pass in the n size in Deus, that's the capital one, then NL will be the lowercase. Right, so we rerun the code generator now. Oh, that's the game. Don't do this. Oh, we've got a bit of a fail. A little bit of a fail. There's 3 of them. I need a repeat of this one here. And the other one is 9, 1. Here we go. What is that, unused or something? Oh no. Missed the semicolon. Right. So that's regenerated. The next step is to go ahead and check out the result. So nggen.h. Reload the file. Here we go. So we're about 250 lines now. So we added these references. They've got new lines in, which I don't like, these new lines. So let's go and correct that. It was here. What was it? Here we go. That new line needs to go after, up in the loop. Right, so hop back to here. So after that problem gets fixed. That's cool. Right, these are not tabbed. Let's fix that. Archetype pool. So I think that was it. Okay, so I think that's the whole header file generated. Let's switch back over to the to-do list. Yeah, that's everything. So the next thing to go and do is generate the source code. So before we get started on that, I want to actually get rid of the internal files. Typically, the way I like to structure things is I would have I kind of have like an internal header where I like to forward declare all my stuff that's only used in the C source file, and then I have the public header. So I was thinking about doing this for the entity one, but there's also the code. There's code generated files and files that are not code generated. So yeah, what I would like to do is reduce the number of files, because I don't really like too many files. I kind of despise it. So I like big chunky files, you know. So I think we should, in this case, I don't care about the internals leaking out. So we're going to probably get rid of everything that's in entity internal. We're going to take it and we're going to go ahead and move it to the public. What else? So it's in the internal. This is a jam. So we should probably structure this properly later. I actually even finished filling some of these things in, but this is all right for now. This one's still messy. So let's get started on the actual. Yes, let's delete the internal generated and delete internal. Now let's get started on actually generating the C source file. So let's hop back to the code generator. And we're looking at yeah, so what could we do? Okay, first of all, let's just open up the file. And maybe we should do an assertion actually on these things. Failed to open header file. Something like that. Let's open this. Let's open that for right. Yeah, so what I would like to do is copy paste this line and go ahead. So that's the header file generated. The next one is the C source file. So there's also things which are inside the non-generated file, header file, which their implementation is going to be inside the generated source file because it needs to have generated code to work. So let's have a think. So let's just think, right? So obviously these don't need any source backing things. Maybe you could do some string functions or something, but I don't need those yet. The next one is typed references. These haven't needed any backing functions. Typed identifiers. I guess these will need some. So we could make these. So I guess let's start with that. The typed identifiers section. Let's literally just grab it. We won't put the comments in there again. It's a bit silly, right? Doing that. See if I've forgotten anything. Oh, we're good. So, typed identifiers. Ah, shoot, that's the wrong one. I need that header anyway. It's the wrong. It's this for loop here. All right. So we need to start writing the implementation now. So how is this thing going to even work? Well, we don't even have the entity pool yet. So the basic idea is we need so we have this like custom pool type. It's called a record pool. I have my own object pool, right? It's just an array where every element in the array could be allocated or freed manually. You know, but I need a custom version for this system. So we're gonna do one. But what we actually want is some functions to help us do things. Wait a minute. Hang on a minute. nref is already that function. So we call nref on the untyped ID. We'll get the untyped reference and we'll just cast it up into a typed reference. Easy peasy, eh? So I think you could probably do this all in one. Yeah, so hang on a minute. Char star format equal, I guess we'll do a new line, plop that in there. This is a jam. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and say, you know, get the nref, or the untyped one, just call it a ref. And then you like that name, NID maybe. Did I do that? ID is probably sufficient in this context. So yeah, you just say ent ref on id.raw, I think it is. I just forget about that. Yeah, .raw. Nice. So it gets you the raw ID, the untyped one from the typed one. Then you get the untyped ref back from it. Then we simply just create a typed reference and return it. So I guess we'll do the compound lit. Well, it's not a compound lit. It's a compound lit. Yes, yeah, compound lit. We'll do a compound lit raw with the ref in it like that, and voila. Like, there's no point asserting it here because the other thing is typed, so they must have got it legitimately. Right, so I think that's our first bit of source code. Should we take a look at that? Let's give it a nice generate. Oh, we've got a bit of problem. This has already been declared. And then we've not put a semicolon down. I'm doing that all over the place today because we've got these multi-line string things that we're doing. Right, so if we open up the ent gen.c this time. Oh, that's already this file. What I meant to say is ent gen generated.c. Right, if we're looking in the viewer here, what we can see is it is coming out okay, right? We've got the ent ref, night ref, and we're simply just getting the untyped one. Okay, why is it saying bool? That's a bit wrong, isn't it? We obviously missed. We need another one. Right, that's looking good now. Cool. We should probably put a new line between each of these, though. Not gonna lie. Rightio. So the next thing to do is go back to that header file again, entgen.h. And let's take a look at. Let's reload it though. Get rid of these mistakes. Let's just carry on and look, see if there's any functions we need to generate. So there's nothing in archetypes. These are all of our archetypes from the file. Archetype pools, these are the SOA versions. There's the union that wraps around all these other ones. But entity initialize, we need stuff there. So I think this is where we should just take all of these things and then open them up. So from entity initialize, we'll take all those sections and just bring them into the source file. What are we making? A code generator for an entity system, because we need to do something a little bit more complicated. But hey, welcome, Cool Game Dev. How's it going? Rightio. So all these sections here we copy paste, and then we can go full ham and figure out how many of these we can implement without having to do something else. So entity initialize. So we got this init. Pretty good. Good to hear, good to hear. And right. So how does one initialize an entity? Good point, we haven't even written this code yet, have we? Wait, did we? Yeah, I don't think we wrote example of this code. So basically we need to allocate a slot in the entity. Yeah, we need to allocate a slot in the oh, this one's a little bit complicated. So one, let's just do this, right? Allocate slot in entity record pool, right? Then you need to be able to take the coordinate and then go into the archetype pool and bump allocate a slot. Go into archetype pool and bump allocate a slot in that region, right? We've still already got regions sorted out as well. Yeah, maybe we'll come back to this one. Then after you've done that, you've now got yourself an entity reference. And then, so now you can set entity ref in the record slot. And then you can set every property in the archetype property arrays. Yes, and then return record slot ID. So that's basically the to-do for creating an entity, but I think we can't do that until we've done a few things first. But let's just go around. Let's just go around and see what's the low-hanging fruit, basically. Get and set properties. Should be possible to do this one. I think we might have a bit of a problem with the coordinate one though, but because the coordinate means you need to move pool. But yeah, maybe this is possible. So for the getter, you're basically just, oh yeah, you got to do that thing in it. I've already written it out. Already code for it. Yes, you'll fish out the archetype from the reference, call the corresponding one of these functions, which gets you the array, offset into the array and return the result. Yep, that's quite easy to do. We can do that one. Right, I just want to take a quick break and then we'll implement these functions. Be right back. Right, welcome back everyone. How's it going? Lupo, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. What have you been up to? Yeah, not doing bad, not doing bad. Getting a little tired, but doing good. Just yeah, been obviously busy at work, doing work things. Other life things, and writing this entity code generator. It's going alright. We've got the header file all generated. We're just in the source code now. Yeah, things going good. What have you been up to? Yeah, so I guess we just want to do another sort of like format pointer thing again. So char star format, paste that in there. Open this boy up. Then we want to get the array. Man, I maybe should have done that custom formatter. It would have been pretty lit. But, oh well. This is fine. Yes, the property name, the property type. Let's call it P. Bit of star, bit of P. Then we want to call this function with the property name that goes in here. Array, pass in the archetype, which I think is entref archetype. I think that's in the header file. Not much, learning Unity object pooling. Right. What is object pooling do? I guess you can allocate objects in like an object pool. Is that what it is? One might think it is that, right? Wait, not the generated one. Yeah, so yeah, ref archetype. I haven't implemented it yet, but it's going to be in the high bits. Event ref. But yeah, we'll figure that one out. So passing the ref. Sweet. Nice. Then we new line, maybe another new line. Okay. So that'd be the first one. Then the next one is the setter. So with the setter, it's basically the same thing. But wait, I've got to get this right. So data type, property name, then data type again, then property name. Okay, so I copy paste this. Done. Now the next one, basically the same, but is with set. And it takes in another chunk, one of these boys and girls. So, that would then mean all of this. Wait a minute. This here overwrites the first two. Yep. Then we can, right. Crap, I didn't do a return. Whoops. Tab, return, p index, ent ref, entity index, ref. Right. So we need to do a similar thing here, but instead of doing a get, we're just doing a set. So it'll be storing the value in there. So I guess I need to repeat the identifier as well. Cool. So should we take a look at the code generator now, see what's up? Yeah, to overcome the garbage collector and faster create destroy, just do pooling. Fair play. Makes sense. Pooling is pretty cool. Do you have to use struts? Because it's C#, right? Do you have to use struts for pools? Like the element type have to be a strut, or can it be a something else? Right, so let's run that code generator. No, my life is ruined. Oh. Huh? No. Right, so that's ran. So the next thing to do is open up the ent generator. Right, so these are ones we did before, still looking good. These ones we're skipping for now until we have more of the code generated. Entity ref get called. So it calls these functions, which have already been code generated, which still has to be implemented actually. Ent ref, yep. Yeah. Yes, they seem to be like the right data types. Yeah. Looking right now. I think there's a problem with bit sets in it. So if they're Boolean, there's a Boolean one. Where is it? Yeah, here the a bit flag. The bit flag one actually needs to be generated differently. We need to say if it's the special type bit flag, it will be an array of U32. But the way you index it will be different. It's all game object. Right, is that a class? I don't know what game object is. Right. So... Right, so really we should handle that case. Yeah, the bit set ones. If you have an array of Boolean. I might not do the special case Boolean one. Because you could just manually pack it. It could be a manual flags one, maybe. And you do the packing yourself manually. Yeah, I think that'll work better. Yeah, maybe we'll remove it for now. Because it's just too much extra things to do. So that special type bool, I think we'll remove it. We didn't do special type vector in the end, right? Let's just remove the whole of the special type thing. I don't know if it's a good idea. Alright, special type is now gone. Yeah, it's gone. So with special type gone, we don't... Yeah, so Boolean will just be a waste. You should manually pack it. Right, so that keeps the code generator more simple. It's a class. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, I remember when I was first programming, I was thinking, oh, maybe this is a cool idea, but I don't know. And then I learned eventually it was just a really dumb idea. But in C Sharp, a class is always heap allocated. So whenever you say new class, it heap allocates it. Whenever you do, whenever you do new strut, it's basically by value, it's on the stack. And you can take a reference to it, but I don't think you can do double references or something like that. But so if I'm not mistaken, then if you're pooling game objects, maybe C Sharp has a way to have a custom allocation scheme for classes. If not, I don't know how they do it. Because, yeah, I don't know how they do it if not. Hey, glorious sir. Good evening, how are you? I'm not doing bad. I'm not doing bad. Bit tired, as usual. But, yeah, we're doing good. We're just working on the code generator. We've done the header file. The header file's all looking lovely. So this is the header file. We just got it all nicely sectioned out, generating, different sections of things, data types, and functions as well, function prototypes. So we're just in the doing these. We've just done those guys. I think we're going to do these guys now. Very good. So I think here, just remove that nonsense, won't it? So where is it? Here we go. So this next one goes over all the archetypes and all the properties of the archetype and provides special getters and setters for those things. Now, yeah, how's the projects going, glorious sir? Have you had any more time to work on it? It's really simple actually. Objects are just enabled/disabled. It's already pre-allocated, and or you can expand or shrink it. Yeah, but I don't get it though. Because when you do new game object, right, that's heap allocated. So how does that go in the pool, right, of object pools in C Sharp? I don't quite understand how, you know? But maybe they do, I don't know. Yeah, maybe they do like it manually in C++ and they marshal it out back to you with that marshal API, whatever it's called. I don't know. I forget these things. C Sharp. Finally, sorry, lovely. I'm good. Did some MSDF font renderings today. Oh yeah, the multi-dimensional sign distance field. Yeah. I might end up using it for the game. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, so SDF fonts are great for the in-world stuff. If you're doing anything screen space, the other ones, pre-rasterized fonts are pretty good. because you can get nice small characters. But yeah, SDF stuff really good for the world space text. Yeah, or of course, if you want to do the operations as well, that's when sign distance fields are good, like shadow and things like that. Outline's a good one. Right, so I'm gonna do another format thingy-majig. All right, so hop in there. Right. So the way this one is going to work is that globally we're going to have a thing called like gent, I think. It's incredible. It's going to be called G. So return gent, right? Then you go into your archetype pools. Then you index with the hard-coded ent archetype, then the name of the archetype. Then you put the name of the archetype in again, but the lowercase one, I think. Then you're in the archetype pool. Then you put the property name in, right? Then your array index based on the entref entity index of ref. And voila. So this one should just hopefully be offsetting from a pointer, dereferencing, get another pointer, offset to that pointer, dereference it, and then you got your thing. Hey Jack, how's it going? Yeah, with Codegen. Yeah, it's all planned out. Everything's all planned. So, yeah, write a bunch of like, bunch of ugly C code, but it would do. How have you been, Jack? Yeah, it's looking good. I did change the how I did the thing in the iterator in the end, but I made it so the iterator could be used for anything. So I've only got one iterator. I wanted an iterator where you could iterate over every single entity ever. I wanted an iterator where you could iterate over every single archetype, every single entity within an archetype, and then just every single entity with these properties. So I basically just like combined it all into one, and it didn't take that much. If I want to iterate over every single entity, I just make I can just make it iterate over all of the regions, and it doesn't have to be fast. That one, I think that's just for like debug serialization. I wanted that, but then I got this like archetypes flags, so I can sort of like filter out certain archetypes. So this one means I can just iterate over one archetype if I wanted to, or filter some out. But yeah, so I can instantiate my iterator based on some area. And I did change the looping a bit. So now we have to go over all of the archetype pools. That's the outer loop. And then we grab the arrays for the archetypes, and then go over all the ranges that you have, all of the regions that your shape collides with, basically. So I guess in drawing terms, if you got this guy here with his hat, and his attack has this radius thing, the regions it will look in is these three regions here, here, and here. But it will go over each of the regions It will go over all the archetypes first and each of the regions for each archetype, basically. I will be using SIMD in this eventually, but not yet. It's just leaving the door open for it. But yeah, so I got rid of that pool offset thing and just replaced it with an archetype index and then unioned everything. Because I found that it was a bit annoying having two pieces of information that were basically the same thing. So I'm just dealing with the extra padding now between the pools. Where was that? Huh. Oh yeah. I got rid of the internal file. So yeah, globally there's just going to be this entity system and it's just going to be an array of archetype pool. This is just a union that wraps around all the pools and we just index into that instead. So yeah, that's basically what's changed since you've last been here. I've also finished off the API a bit more as well. I've added like typed handles, which is what we're kind of generating now really, is a typed getter. What's Helix format? It's the editor. I'm using the Helix editor instead of Vim. Oh no, similar to what I would have done with the pools. Awesome. Sweet. So yeah, I think it's much better now. I'm liking it. And we should be able to SIMD it as well. But yeah, so I think that... So, right, so there's the getter. So, it's the same, but we need to add another one of those ends. Then another one of those NLs, which is the lowercase name of the archetype. Then the name of the property, which is called ident, right? Clearly the best names, I know. Cool. And then we can code generate the setter, which is basically the same thing. We're doing it portability. Yeah, it is definitely. Yeah, point to doing the ARM version and the, you know, the 4 wide version, the 8 wide version. Yeah. And also, it's not really the most readable code as well. It definitely becomes a different kind of way of reading, doesn't it? Now, where's that music? Because this was a jam. So, yeah, the set is gonna then do the dot star s. Lovely. Right, so we'll get the... Might do what this thing did. Get myself a P. Shoot. Bit of P. Right, now I've got to figure out what the hell I'm going to put in here. So... Right, how does this differ to the first one? Right. So where did he go up to again? To there, wasn't it? These ones. Right, so name lowercase, property name, name upper or title case, data type, property name. And then here we go. It's just so long. Right, so we need the property name here. Man, the custom format would have really came in handy. I wouldn't need to do a lot of this. I would just be setting global context and just calling the formatter with special formatting things. But anyway, this is just got ridiculous. Why didn't I do the custom formatter? The next one is the name. Yep. Followed by property name. The custom format would only take in 2 seconds. Why didn't I do it? Right, so see how that code gens. Int generator C. Reload. Right. So here's the typed getters and setters. So it's going to go, yep, looking all right. You know, it might be nicer to get this as a separate variable for an index, really, but. Hmm. Yeah, I wonder. I might put these as locals because having them all scrunched up on a line isn't necessarily helpful, is it? Debugging. But yeah, it's looking alright. There's an extra new line in there which doesn't need to be there, I guess. Right, I think that's looking alright. Yes, I think what I would prefer to do is actually just make a ent archetype. Let's call it archetype, and we'll make it from this. And then we'll do another U32 index. So these can just be copied and pasted here, here, and here. Yeah, post a link, it's cool. As long as it's on topic, it's alright. I don't mind. So just got to replace this here with archetype. Maybe not. Oh, we don't need archetype in these ones. Just the entity ID. Sorry, entity index. Alright. Sweet, so rerun that Codegen now. We'll notice that it looks better for the debugging experience that will come in the future, no doubtedly. So now the index is on a new line, so we can look at that, right? When we step through in the debugger, potentially. You know, technically, maybe bringing back the coordinates into a local as well will be the same sort of thing, and like I did in the setter, right? Yeah. So we should really do that too. So realistically, like, star p, then return p indexed. Don't think that changed much. Yeah, so now on the getters, let's put night in there, whoops. It's not what I wanted. Right, so that means after the first line, we need the data type one, isn't it? Goes there. There we go. It's looking all right. So now when we're debugging it, we can get the pointer to all those properties and just, you know, manually index it ourselves or go, hey, what's the one next to it? What's the one after it? Yeah. See, maybe it also might be beneficial to actually get the whole archetype pool as a whole there. But yeah, I can change that in the future if it gets annoying. Right. Hmm. You see, just for maintainability purposes, maybe the custom thing is beneficial. The custom format. Because, like, it's not that hard to write. I can write it in a second, like a couple of minutes, right? And it just makes reading this and maintaining it a lot better. I don't want to add more lines or anything like that. It just really cleans things up. So yeah, I guess we could do it. Because I'm just putting in a bunch of... Right, so let's just do that context aware formatter. So there's that gen data structure, right? That's got it all in there. So we can just say prop index or format archetype. Yeah, archetype. Like that. Prop, format prop. Just chuck it in there. And just do the custom format. It'd be really easy. So it'd be like... print format file f. Just pass in your string. And we just scan it for a sign, right? So you just say like, is like f put c. Probably very terrible, but let's just do it. So we just scan over while format, get the char out, and increment it. So you definitely put out the char like that on the else, but you just say if char equal $, then we go ahead and do something special, right? So I'll read the next char. See, I never need to put $1 in. So we'll just put... Yeah, I don't really need to do error checking probably. Well, we'll do a bit of error checking. So we'll say like if... I guess we could just switch it. So if you get... Right, so there's only really a handful of things, right? We've got... archetype names, like an identifier for an archetype. So I could just say lowercase a, uppercase a, right? Lowercase a literally just puts on the archetype name. So you just like f print f. on dot star int casted gen dot format archetype dot identifier size. Where's that gen? It's not even declared yet. Must be. Oh, it's not even global, is it? 2 seconds. There we go. Now it's global. So we just want to basically repeat that again. So this will save me doing all this crap every time. Don't know why I just didn't do this. So you got that one. Then the next one is the uppercase one. Well, that was the uppercase one. Right, uppercase. Next one is property. So the property name. And then we say D for data type, property data type. So we say P, capital P, and lowercase p. I think they're going to be the same thing. But just lowercase p is all we need. And then we do format prop. It's actually a pointer, so you need to deref it. Whoopsie. No, not on the size, damn it. Cool. So this needs to do a prop right, why is that being a bit funny? Into construct star. No. F. I'm currently writing a code generator that takes S expressions and converts into C code to have better C preprocessor. There's already Cake Lisp, CAMP, etc., but I don't like them. Has anyone tried something similar? Right, interesting. Yeah, I don't really yeah, I see some people like the idea of having a custom preprocessor that runs before. But I don't really want to spend any extra time compiling my code if possible. So this is why I prefer to write a code generator like this, and also for debuggability purposes as well. When you have the code that's like generated, you can put breakpoints on it, step through it a lot nicer. But yeah, it would be nicer if we had a bit of a better preprocessor though that was integrated into C. But yeah, this is also a good approach to find. Yeah, then another one just called D for data type. So all I have to do is set some global context and then bam. I convinced myself this was not a good idea. Or not needed. Was past Henry wrong? Right, let's have a bit of fun and change things out and just watch the complexity disappear. So in the header file. So all we have to do, right, very easy. Replace that there to print format. Now we just say gen dot archetype equals the address of gen archetypes index. And then with the power of deleting everything else. And simply swapping these things out for $1. Bit of cash money. The capital A's. We'll see that in action. Oh, shoot. Format archetype. And ready? Hop over to the generator. Wait. Gen.h. Cool. So that is these guys. Right, it just worked. Context aware print formatting. This is the way. Right, let's keep going with these. So literally just copy that out, paste it in here. Bit of $A. Cool. What is next? So the next one is some more archetypes as well. Let's just dot these all over the place. Archetype, archetype, archetype. I think I put one in some properties one for a sec. Nah, I didn't. That's good. So this one is a property one. So this will just involve doing like a gen.formatProp. So just sets the pointer in there. These two can go, and actually these lines can just go as well. They just don't need to be needed. Oh, I missed one. Oh, it's the lowercase name, isn't it? Cool. Much cleaner. So this would be the date the data type. So it's just $D and a bit of a $P. So print format. Let's get rid of the rest of the stuff. All right. So keep that going. I think this is a very similar one, but with a pointer syntax. No enter required there. That can go to. Okay, so also in the header file, or the archetype pools, $A, $lowercase a. Nice. Initialization. What is that one? That's a capital A. And a lowercase a, there we go. Sweet. So now we're getting to these more meatier ones, which are just gonna be a lot more simple. So this goes over all the properties though. So take the address, delete these two lines. So these ones should just reduce to a prop format. Ooh, let's that one up a bit. Yes, that is a returns the data type, obviously. And that one is the property. Why did I not do a dollar? Property name, data type, obviously, and then the name, the property. Then all this crap just goes away. So Jack, I have a question. What does it mean by the implementation is double pumped? What do you mean? What is meant by that? I've not really followed it that closely. I knew that there was that Intel problem where they got downclocked. So you used AVX 512. Yeah, and also sometimes there was like a warm-up penalty as well. Something like that. Sounded very sketchy. No, this is so much more simple. Return the data type, and this is the lowercase identifier. So these are the types get set props. Prop name, uppercase, archetype name. So that'd be a data type and a property. But then all this mumbo jumbo just goes away. Much better. We need to set the context though. Gotta be careful not to miss the context. Oh, did I miss one up there? Sad. I think I missed one. I missed a few. What's going on there? I don't know what I did there. Hey, new here. Is there somewhere I can read about the entity archetypes, etc.? That's interesting. Yes. So I do have a previous stream up. It's the first stream we did the plan on. But if you want to wait until, so there's a video coming out on Friday, which is the game tech plan. But on the YouTube channel, there's a devlog. But the following Friday, I'm going to cut down the entity stream into a smaller video. But yeah, if you want to watch me doing all my takes, take a bit longer. It is on the VOD channel. It's the first entity stream, so if you go back like 4 streams or something, you'll see it. So they implemented 512-bit operations by doing 256-bit at the same time on alternative clocks. Right. So the registers were only 256, right? Right. I see. So, right. So it took twice as many clocks as you would have hoped. Is that what you're saying? Because you're alternating it, the clocks. Maybe it wouldn't take twice as many. Awesome. Yeah, it's the one. It's the stream after the game tech plan. It's the first entity one. I think you'll find it. But we go over like the whole plan for this entity system in that video. Oh, I can't believe I missed some of these. What a melon. All right. Okay, so that'll Codegen, all right. Next one. This puts the pool in here, doesn't it? Huh? Right, is this a residual format thing? Right. Nice. Okay, so let's keep going. So this one needs to be deleted. It goes over all the properties though. We did that here, so we get set the context aware. We'll set the context for the context aware property. Print formatting into the file. Bear in mind, I forgot to change. Oh, no, I did. That's good. So this one is the property data type. This one is the property name. And get rid of all that nonsense. Why would the PlayStation emulators like the 512 one? Is that like the PS3 or something? I don't understand. Right, it's looking much better. I'm liking how this looks now. This Codegen just a lot easier to read and maintain. If you want to add more lines, shuffle stuff about. So that was just the header file. Let's keep going. Let's go for that source file quick. So archetype lowercase archetype, uppercase archetype. Right. So nice, we can get rid of these 2 lines here. Awesome. So we still got to do this one. Where's the context? Right, there we go. Here we go. Nice. So get that line. And these 3 lines can just be replaced with that one. Oh yeah. So we also did this thing. Yeah, this is when it starts getting a bit long, doesn't it? Go over all the properties. And this is the type untyped getters and setters. So you can just get rid of those 2 fprintfs for this new thing. Now so I'll go through and get them all. So return the data type, that's the property name, data type, property name, property name. Oh, 3700, wow. DP is the name of the property, the data type of the property, and then the name of the property. That's so much better. So there's some typed versions as well, and then we're back to where we were, and we'll do the final function. Then we can relook at the Codegen, make sure it's all right. And then that should be, we should have code generated source code for most of the functions now. But we've still got to get like general internals working, like creating and deleting, iterating, stuff like this. That's all in good time. Archetypes. Archetype properties. Nice. Right, so plop over all these. So it returns a data type for a given lowercase archetype and a property name. Capital archetype, data type for the property, and then capital for the archetype. This would be the lowercase archetype name because it's a union, and then property name. Cool. So let's type it out again. So archetype, property, archetype capital, data type, property, we're setting it right. And then data type, archetype, lowercase archetype, property. And then the value, so that's the property name. Sweet, so that all just gets replaced. All that stuff that we spent time doing just goes away. And that, much easier to maintain. and read back. Hey there, Pinsy. Welcome back. We're currently working on the entity system. So we have gone from graphics, we're doing the game tech plan. I've got a video coming out tomorrow on the YouTube channel, which goes over that game tech plan for the next 8 months. So the very top of that plan is the entity system. So we're code generating a sort of structure of arrays entity system. And we have a lovely little layout file, so if we want to add and remove properties or change some archetypes, we can do it quite easily without having to hopefully change too much code. And also if I want to add in more capabilities, I can just code gen some more things, which is quite nice. Or if I find debugging a little bit hard, I can change things around a bit and get it to get debugging a little bit nicer. So the format is going to be one of these guys. Just going over all the props. What is this one? This is get the array. Oh yeah. So with this one, we had it. It was like archetype. Great. Yeah, this is it. It's this contents. So basically, like our archetypes can have the same properties, but they're not always going to be in the same. That's going to be a problem, isn't it? I got to write a to-do list because I want to forget things. But yeah, so our archetypes can have the same properties, but not necessarily all the ones in the same. Yeah, it can have the same properties as another archetype, but not all of the same properties. So we need a way to offset from the base address of the pool to extract the pointer, the property pointer, the property array pointer. So as an example, if we go into entity generated header, here's the pool types for the night. And for the chest and the tree, they both have this sort of 8-bit flag property, but this one is like offset by 5 fields. This one's offset by 4 fields. So to get this pointer takes a bit of magic. So that's what this function does, is a bit of magic. It's basically using the bit set and doing get in the property enum. Taking a look at the properties bit set to see what properties this archetype has. Taking the low bits, including the property bit that you have, doing a count number of bits, then offsetting by the count number of bits, effectively. So things will be a little bit more involved, but that's okay. Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be pretty sweet. I would have liked to go for a simple entity system, but I'm gonna be having tons of entities in this game, so I was thinking I want to prepare for possible SIMD in the future. So future Henry will be looked after. You know. Okay, so I want to hop to the end. There's a few things I need to write down, so I don't want to forget them. But I guess I'll do the do not forget section. Right, so the thing I don't want to forget is actually the pool types. Archetype, pool, archetype pool properties must be in the order of the enum, the ent prop enum for ent archetype prop array to work. Yeah, gotta reorder that. Maybe we can do it in a sec. Yeah, so we get the header of the archetype. Yep, we get the, yeah, this would be one of those dollars property, dollar property. Now we don't have this, so we have to say cast to avoid pointer. This is your pointers. That would be a void star. We need a pool +1. So after the pool header, basically, cast it to avoid star. So now you're iterating over an array of pointers. And that will be this one. And then you'll get back a void pointer. That'll cast to the coordinates, then return the coordinates. So that should be it. Yeah, I've just got to do the old tab. Yeah, I think that's right. What am I doing now? I'm doing like a new line and one of them, I think. Alright. Looking good. So, yeah. Let's rerun the code generator. Shoot. 720. Put a new line there. Right, seems to be right. Let's rerun the code gen. Nice. So we look at the Codegen file. There's a few actually. Well, there's a couple. But let's just look at the C source code file. Let's reload it. Right. So here it is. Yeah, it's not seeing all the types. That's cool. There's some extra spaces we kind of need to get rid of, but all in all, it's still looking all right. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah. So we switched over to that new formatter, and that's looking good, I think. Oh, this one looks incredibly bad. We did not correct those. Hang on a minute. So that's property and then data type. Data type pointer. Rerun the code gen, hop back, reload the file. Right, so this is the last one we've just generated. Basically, it's that. Yeah. That returns the right value now. The right type. These all say coords though. Clearly wrong. No biggie. Just, you know, context aware formatting. Put a bit of P in there. And voila. My one concern is that when we generate the pools, at least, we really got to fix that problem. This pool here, right? I think we need to sort. We need to sort our properties. Well, you can just sort the pointer. Yeah, you can key sort the pointers. Because the pointers will be... Yeah, I think that's alright. Key sort based on the pointers. So... yeah, basically, when we parse up the... It's here, we're parsing up all the archetypes in the layout file. We're going over and going, okay, we've got night, health, and all this, right? We need to make sure that they get sorted in this order. And if they're not sorted in that order, there's going to be a problem with that function we just made. So after you've done all of that, which is here, we just queue sort it. Bit of queue sort, base pointer, archetype, props. It's an array, so you get the base pointer there. Size of member. The number of elements. Archetype, props, count. Then the compare function, which is call it sort it mate. If they need more, we'll come up with a good name. So in sort it mate is going to void star, I think it is. Void star A, isn't it? Then void star B. Then you cast it into what you want it to be. So this is actually going to be a... Yeah, so archetype prop. I don't really know if I need this type anymore, but let's just keep it anyway, just in case. So call it AP. Let's put A in there and then you call BP. Then we simply... So this just has a pointer to the property in there. That's all it does. So we're just going to sort based on the pointers because we bump allocate the properties in the property array. So we'll literally just do cast to an int, I guess, signed pointer int. So you do something like that. And that'll do it. So obviously we've got to move this out of the function, no biggie. Not the end of the world. Archetype, I didn't put any on there. Alright, not bad, not bad. So we'll have a bit of a play with that. I think there's an if 0, we can up that. So we can debug, visualize the sorting in action. So we give it a run. Oh, sorted mate is not right. Oh, it needs to be const. Of course. So these need to be a const. And then we give it a nice run. Right, so did a bit of a seg fault. Trying to bring out... Right, I guess my size of element might have been wrong. It kind of feels like church music. What's going on? Like organs and stuff. Let's go back to the beginning. It was good back then. Right. So Wait, did I get my parameters the wrong way around? Number of members, size of member, damn it. Right, obviously. These are the wrong way around. Here we go, let's give it a run. Cool, so it prints it out okay now. But yeah, I think I did my thing the wrong way around, but you can tell the sorting is working because the 8-bit flag has gone to the front. Whereas if you compare that to the layout file, it's at the back. Right, so it's inverted the arrays now. Right, that's great. So I think it is working. Could do a bit of a test still. So the sorted mate needs to actually do A tick B. So easy to get the wrong way around. Then we go into the layout file. Let's run it. Okay, it's the right way around. Now let's go to the layout file. And let's bring 8-bit flag, right, all the way to the front. And let's watch it just move to the front of the arrays. Maybe not. Why didn't I do that? Damn it. What? Well, I have been maybe I need to deref a pointer. That went derefing. What's going on? Doing something wrong. Oh, did I ruin my sort mode function? Oh, what the hell did I do? Oh, I'm sorting the property pointers like a melon. I'm going to be accessing the prop from within there. Because these... So maybe I was right the first time around. It's A to B to K. Right, let's rerun that. No, okay, it needs to be switched. Right, so now let's move the flag back to the front. Yes. Amazing. So now it's moved from here all the way back to here because, yeah, that's good. So now they're going to be in the right order for that special function, basically. All right, we're looking good. So let's clear this do not forget thing because I don't know what I want to remember anymore. I think there was like 2 things that I need to remember, but I'm sure I'll come back across those again. Right, so it's good progress today, guys. We've taken all of this API design, we've code generated a header file and a source code file, but we're still missing some things. We're still missing, where is it? So we need to actually code gen the initialization functions. Those we skipped out on because they needed more of some other things being built. Defer destroy, we don't have a way to, yeah, that's still depending on something else. We still needed this entity record pool. So the entity record pool is a custom pool structure. So we can just allocate 3 individual slots to a global entity array. This is so we can have longer living entity IDs, but pay the cost of an extra indirection. So we're basically saying that the random access is going to be made a little bit slower. Yeah, we're not optimizing for random access, basically. So we can defragment the archetype pools, and we can just iterate over linear entities through the iterator which would be a big help. So yeah, we'll probably actually get started on making this entity record pool next time, and then we can get on to doing the create and destroy, and then the iterator, and that should be basically everything. But I'm sure there's stuff to tidy up and little things I've missed. So that'll be on Sunday, 6 p.m. GMT +1. You can check out the Twitch timeline for more information on that one. And yeah, guys, YouTube video coming out tomorrow. The game tech plan in devlog form. Check that one out. Thank you for coming, Gloria. So good to see you. I know, right? This is a good jam. I gotta save this one somewhere. It was good. I'll drop it in the chat. And yeah, VOD channel, we're gonna catch up on past streams. And yeah, if you guys support me, you get access to the code. Subscriber on Twitch or Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi is better if you want to send more money in my face. Thank you guys. Appreciate you all. Appreciate everyone who supports me as well. So let's figure out what to do when it comes to raiding. Raid the Zig guy. Dev regex kernel module. What the crap? Okay. That just sounds like he's trolling Gingerville or something. I think so. Right. Have a good start to your weekend, guys. I'll see you all on Sunday. And yeah, catch you later. Bye-bye.